Hey, people. Happy Friday. Welcome into the building. It's Trending Topics Friday, and I'm glad you're hanging out with me on this Friday night. Now, listen, as you come in the building, hit the like button, okay? Y'all got me working, pulling these stories together. Hit the like button. So it's Trending Topics Friday, and I'm glad to see y'all. And we're talking friend or foe. Friend or foe? Is the person your friend or are they your enemy? So Phaedra Parks, she says she's close to Brandi Glanville. You know, Brandi is in a lot of trouble with Bravo right now. You know, her and Bravo going back and forth because she dropped a bombshell lawsuit against Andy Cohen. She said Andy Cohen SH'd her. You know, that seems to be the theme of the lawsuits this year. Somebody either got SA'd or SH'd. And they get to suing. So she's suing Andy Cohen. She got Bravo over here shaking up. Now, you know what's interesting? I was thinking about it, but we ain't going to backtrack. You know, when, Nene Leakes was suing, they didn't move, shake, rattle, or roll. But now Brandi is suing. It seems to be rocking and rolling. Maybe because she's suing Andy directly. I don't know. But either way, we're here to talk about how Phaedra says she's a true friend. If she's your friend, she's 10 toes down for you. She said her and Brandi are friends. She stood by Brandi even when Brandi was being sued because, you know, somebody was suing her from the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And she stood by Brandi. She said, man can't promote me or demote me. I could be friends with Andy and still be friends with Brandi. Now, you don't got too many people like that. You got a lot of people, when it comes to them thinking about their money or backing you, they're going to go with their money. Nobody's picking up Diddy phone calls now. But before that, they was begging for an invitation just to be around him. But now that Homeland Security done dropped by his house, paid his homes a visit, nobody picking up the phone. Cassie sued them, nobody picking up the phone. But what's interesting is they was there when he was beating on Cassie, allegedly. But now they want to act like, oh, I would never. Oh, my God, that happened to you, Cassie. And now they're not picking up the phone. And they was there some of those nights that Cassie got, you know, touched in a not so good way. But back to Phaedra. Phaedra says she's a good friend. Holla if you got a good friend in the chat. Matter of fact, hashtag good friend. I got me a few. Love them all. Then we got this Amanda Seales. You know, she does a lot of problematic things. I'll put it that way. I can't say 10 toes down she's problematic, but she does do a lot of problematic things. She talk out the side of her neck. And now you know what? Everybody want to say that they are autistic. And they diagnosing themselves. She was over there on Club with Shay Shay talking about she autistic. She ain't gonna pay nobody. She diagnosed herself. I don't know what's going on with Amanda, but she a little touched. But you could be touched, and just because you are touched does not mean that things that come out your mouth is not true. She said Issa Rae doesn't empower women. She said Issa Rae turned her back on her. You know, she did that HBO show, Insecure, and I love that show. If you never watch it, try to catch it maybe on demand or something. Good show. Amanda Seales was on there with Issa Rae, the creator, director, and all of that. And Amanda Seales said, you know, Issa did her dirty. And she said she's been keeping quiet. A lot of people cover up for other people's reputation. That's another story in and of itself. And then nobody wants to expose. So when you don't expose, you got hundreds of people that get hurt because you didn't expose. And I'm not saying it's your duty. I'm just saying what happens. Nobody exposed Diddy. So what happened? Hundreds of people allegedly after that got hurt. Nobody exposed Weinstein. What happened? Hundreds of people got hurt. Nobody exposed Epstein. Y'all get what I'm saying? Nobody's willing to step out there and expose them, and then they continue to hurt one person after another. Just line them up. Keep getting hurt. So we're going to talk this Amanda Seales and Issa Rae thing. Then we got Ellen DeGeneres. You know, she said she got ousted from Hollywood because she was labeled as toxic and mean. And she said, am I the only mean person in Hollywood? You're not, no, most certainly not. She's most certainly not. Now, people said it was other things. People say she's racist, she's a bully, she's this, she's that, she's the other. I don't know. I never worked for Ellen. But you know what? I want to say this, though. But so we could keep the predators in Hollywood. But if you're a mean girl, we're gonna out you. There's some mean men in Hollywood, and they could stay. I'm telling you, if you're a girl, you got it bad. We can't be too loud, but we can't whisper. You can dress a little sexy, but you can't dress too sexy. You can't be assertive because then they're going to say you mean. And don't be a black girl with a big mouth because you done. They're going to call you aggressive and all kind of other stuff. And you probably never work again. I'm waiting to see the next thing that Taraji P. Henson is in. I hope she gets the job again. Time will tell. But we're going to talk about Ellen DeGeneres talking about, you know, she was outed. She talked about, you know, all the pain and hurt that she and her wife went through as a result of her show ending. But not just her show ended and she being labeled as toxic and mean. Now, Ellen said, I was dancing in the aisles, giving out gifts on my show. She said, would a mean girl do that? Well, I've seen mean people do even more than that. They smile in your face, and then behind closed doors, they tearing you down. So I'm going to need some better examples, Ellen. But I am in agreement with we got to calm down. Oh, Brown Eye said Taraji's supposed to be having a movie come out. Okay, we'll see. I hope so. Listen, you know, Ellen, I don't know. But friend or foe? And it seems like in this game now, when you up, everybody calling you. Phone beeping, they dialing your number. Where you going to be, where you at? But they said you find out who your real friends are when you have something go wrong in your life. Everything's going right, everybody in your face. Soon as the bottom fall out, you can't call nobody there. They're not picking up your phone. They didn't hear you. They didn't see your text. Your text goes undelivered. They won't take an email from you, nothing. Yeah, let something happen. That's when you're going to find out who your friends really are. Now, listen, guys, it's Friday night. I'm glad to see y'all hanging out with me. It's trending topics, and we got to get into this. Friend or foe? Which one are you? Y'all know what I need in the chat, right? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Friday night trending topics, and we're about to get in it. Friend or foe. We're talking Phaedra Parks, because Phaedra said the people over there at Real Housewives of Atlanta, they knew the truth, and nobody spoke up for her when she needed them. Said nobody spoke up for her. We're going to get into it. Amanda Seales, is she cuckoo? Maybe so, maybe not. And Ellen DeGeneres, saying she was labeled as a mean girl, and it was dead wrong. Diane, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. All right, it's Friday night, people. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the people on in the building. Buckle your seatbelts, because we're about to load up this train. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva TGIF. Choo.
Come on now. Hey, my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Hey, Leo. Choo.
Hey, Tisha.
Choo.
Hey, the dog. Who is that in that picture?
For real.
You know, I always find these characters online, and they're just good memes.
They are good memes. Hey, E. Hey, Savannah.
Hey,
Dr.
Diva.
Love, Katrina, Tay. Listen, we're in the building. We got to talk about this. Okay? Yes, choo. Let's talk about this, because this is a good subject to talk about. And we're going to start off with Phaedra Parks, because Phaedra feels that the people over there at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they hung her out to dry. She was friends with these people, and when she needed them, everybody turned their back on her. And she said they knew the truth. I said, oh, shoot now. So let me get into Phaedra Parks, okay? Phaedra says she know how to be friends with two people that are fighting. Now, that's grown. That's adulting right there. So Phaedra Parks, how I maintain friendships with both Andy Cohen and Brandi after the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip drama. Okay, look at them two there. They looking nice in the black. I love the black. So Phaedra Parks isn't letting Andy Cohen and Brandi strife over the doom season of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip get in the way of her friendships with them. It's never going to be awkward, because I'm always going to be honest and truthful. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum 50 told Page 6 exclusively at the Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center's West Hollywood grand opening on Thursday. Parks, who filmed the Morocco set installment of the Peacock spinoff series with Glanville 51 in January 2023, after starring alongside her on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, went on to say that it was easy to show support for her pal amid allegations of SH from their castmate, Caroline Manzo. I wish people would have stuck up for me when I'm sticking up for Brandi, said Park, a beloved NBC Universal talent who has appeared on Roa, a previous iteration of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Peacocks, The Traders, and currently stars on Bravo's Married to Medicine. She better work that Bravo check. Look at Phaedra and Andy. Okay? So she's saying she wished the people would have stood up for her. Like she's standing up for Brandi. A lot of times people are so afraid to say what they know is true. Like the woman on my show. And that happened to me. And they knew the truth, she elaborated, referring to her time on Atlanta for 7 consecutive seasons from 2010 to 2017. Parks has vocally supported Glanville throughout this situation from the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, asserted that she's always going to tell her truth without fear of retribution from Cohen 55, the network, or any other entity. She better stand on business. She said, I'm going to ride or die for real. Because at the end of the day, man cannot promote me. Can we get an amen? She said, Andy, she said, only God can promote me. Glanville, who has also attended the event, told Page 6 that she was grateful to Parks for offering a shoulder to lean on throughout the ordeal. Okay? This is friendship here, y'all. I want y'all to hear this. She is truly such a goddess, a beautiful woman, and she saved me. The former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Gush. Honestly, she saved me. Still, Glanville made it clear to Parks that she would not be hurt if the latter chose to not publicly associate with her, given her contentious dynamic with Cohen and Bravo. I was saying to Phaedra, like, listen, we don't have to take pictures together. We don't have to do anything. She's like, you're my friend. She said, recalling a recent conversation with the attorney, she said, I don't want Phaedra to get in a bad place with the network because she is on every freaking show and she's killing it. She continued, Bravo needs to pay her more. But she was like, girl, you're my friend. That's it. Listen, this is touching. Is this pulling on anybody else's heartstrings? Because it's pulling on mine. These two are true friends to each other. They both want to see each other win. And Phaedra's like, no, I ain't going to punk out. I'll take a picture with you. Because what's mine is mine. Phaedra is standing on business, and so is this Brandi. So Parks and Glanville comments comes weeks after executive producer Lisa Shannon of Shed Media, the production company at the helm of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girlship, claimed in court documents that the Real Housewives of New Jersey alum Manzo, 62, had felt disrespected by Glanville, but was not violated by her. Shannon claimed Manzo told production at the time that Glanville alleged actions that even had triggered memories of her past childhood trauma, but did not mention an assault. Our primary concern at the point was making sure that Manzo felt safe. Read the documents obtained by page 6. She told us that she felt safe and that she wanted to continue to film and that she did not want Glanville to be sent home. Now that's a lot right there. Glanville, who previously blasted Manzo's SH claims as absurd and false, told us Thursday that Shannon's words felt validated but pointless after so much time had passed. It was validating, sure, but I feel like it was almost too little too late, she said, claiming Cohen and the network had hung her out to dry for 15 months before emphasizing it was hard. She said, it's just been so hard. Notably, Glanville accused Cohen of SH in February, claiming he had invited her to watch him have, relations with Below Deck alum Kate. The Watch What Happens Live host immediately apologized for making an inappropriate joke via social media. Glanville told us Thursday that she has yet to hear from Cohen himself. I think with all the legal stuff, no one's going to be talking, she said. Glanville assured us that her time on reality TV is far from over. While the Brandi Glanville Unfiltered podcast host quipped that she would enjoy participating in Discovery's channel Naked and Afraid, she also teased that an unscripted series with Parks is in the works. We did have a show that we were going to do together, but because of everything that happened, we didn't get to do it, she said, of how her Real Housewives of Ultimate Girlship drama stalled plans, though she expects cameras to go up eventually. I think that at a point, we'll do it still. At some point, we'll do it down the road. But we were set to do it right when we got back from Morocco, so it kind of threw a wrench into everything. Parks and Glanville was just notable names who came to celebrate the latest at the Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center location. There were others there. And so listen, the friendship here, I'm liking it. Leo, what's your thoughts?
To be quite honest, Diva, if they friends, if they like it, I love it. But this stuff that Phaedra is breathing down our throat with these lies is not true. It's not that the cast of Raw didn't support her. I just recently watched that season, and that season was so good. It was excellent, that season was, because the drama was real, okay? The drama was real. And so it's not that they didn't support her. I don't know, maybe she needs to because she won't talk about it, right? She's giving the innuendo, but she's not putting it in context. She is the one that turned on her good friend, Candy, at the time, because the season before that, they was all good. Everything was good. So when things started falling apart with Candy, and Candy wasn't paying attention to Phaedra, and Phaedra's relationship was falling apart, which led to divorce, she felt slighted from Candy. Nene came into her office and told her, is that your good friend? You going through this? And she ain't been there for you? And then after that, it went all the way downhill. Phaedra started plotting. So I don't know whether or not she expected, after everything hit the fan during the reunion, if she expected the girls to come and gather around her. Instead, they gathered around Candy, and she may have felt offended by that. But with all that being said, I don't believe Phaedra, okay? I don't believe Phaedra. Phaedra is an opportunist,
Oh.
and there's nothing wrong with that. You do need to seek opportunities when they're there.
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily think I see, because Phaedra is very, very clever. So I feel like she has a good time with Brandi. And the
Mm-hmm.
good times are still rolling on because she probably feel like Brandi will eventually end up on her feet. She
Mm-hmm.
may Brandi may know some good people in business that we don't know about on camera that that associating with Brandi. Some people that Brandi is connected with that Brandi herself may not know how to manipulate the opportunities, but Phaedra does. I have no evidence of Phaedra being a good friend to anyone. Now, maybe this is my first time seeing it, so it's new to me. And maybe her and Brandi gonna end up in rocking chairs together. Perhaps. Perhaps. But she gonna Phaedra. Now, Brandi, I believe Brandi 10 toes down in the relationship, in the friendship. I really do believe that. But Phaedra gonna have to show me something else than this lip service, because I ain't buying it.
Ooh, okay. You trying? Ooh, did I fall for the okie doke? Okay, all
I
right.
ain't saying that, Diva. I'm just saying you look.
I hear you. I hear you. In my opinion,
If they like it, I love it.
thank you. I'm feeling like this is a good friendship here. That Phaedra's a ride or die. Um, Felicia, are you feeling me? I know you don't watch these shows, but did you feel it from the article? Are you feeling me?
Well, you know, Diva, I like to consider you a friend, so I'm going to say yes.
Way to play your cards, Felicia. Way to play your cards.
So, yeah, I was feeling it. Okay, I'm done.
Oh God, Katrina.
Y'all are a mess. Good evening, y'all. Now, Leo, I got what you were saying, but Candy, I mean, Phaedra felt like Candy was taking Apollo's side over her
Mm-hmm.
because it was with Todd and all that. And don't forget, Carlos was the one that told Phaedra that situation that got out with Portia.
Mm-hmm.
He did tell her that. And like I said, she was a good friend to Candy at first. She really was. But Candy got mad when she was becoming real friends with Portia. So, and her and Portia used to be together all the time until she told Portia that, but she wasn't for sure that was true, but she still told Portia that. But either way, I wouldn't hire Phaedra as a lawyer, but cause Phaedra be doing deals in the parking lot. But if she's friend with Brandi, all to be. So everybody need a friend. You know, like she told when Kenya said her dog died, and she told Kenya, "I know your best friend, your best friend died. I mean, deed. You know, whatever." But like I said, if she's friend with Brandi, okay, we good. We'll know later on if something comes up. Trust me, we'll know. That's all I got, Dave. I'm done.
Thank you, Dr. Love.
Ooh, Phaedra. Um, at this point, I don't think that Phaedra is pressed no more, just due to the fact of what they did do to her, how they treated her, and then you have the married to medicine ladies who then got in Phaedra ear. And I'm talking about Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, who always act like they not pressed, because they still got their own practice. They done got in Phaedra ear, and to let her know, don't ever be pressed again like you was, which I feel like for years we have told Nene this, to say y'all have already showed the world what y'all can do. So at this point, Bravo, you can take it or leave it, is what Phaedra is saying, because I know at this point y'all are that Titanic is yeah is going down at Bravo. So That is just the trueness I feel. And it's not even about Phaedra really being Brandy's friend. It's not about that. It's about all what Bravo have done to her. And here it go back that na 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 na. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Dr. Love. Are you feeling this friendship?
I really wish Phaedra would have stuck up for Sweet Tea like she sticks up for Brandy. Since
Oh,
you really feel like you are for women and you are for female empowerment and camaraderie, this is just smoke and mirrors. It's magic. It's baffling to me how some Black women can be so diabolical and unforgiving and provocative towards other Black women. But when it comes to white women, they want to risk their paychecks and their professional reputation and social networks. You're my friend, of course we can take pictures. Really? Well, Nene just had a lawsuit. How come you didn't stick out and advocate for her too? Nene is your friend too, right? I thought y'all talked all the time. Let you tell it. So Phaedra in this blonde wig with this foundation from Dunkin' Donuts, Diva, you can really miss me with it. Phaedra wants to align herself with anything white adjacent, because on one hand we preach how Black women are the most unprotected, but it goes without saying white women are the most protected. Even when it comes to Black men and women, you can always find a Black person willing to come in on their Black horse and ride for the other side. Phaedra is color struck. And Creonta does not know how to be friends with anyone. It's like Leo said, she is no one's friend, not even to herself. And what Phaedra is she is very strategic regarding her relationships. You want me to believe Creonta is a great friend, but the last good friend she had, they ended up in prison on RICO charges. Creonta and Angela Stanton were friends too, remember? Next thing you know, Angela was clinked up while pregnant and giving birth while chained to a bed. Those are her words, not mine. Also, Phaedra was good friends with Portia. But at the reunion, the same season that Leo was talking about, she left Portia looking stupid, recanting the lies she told her about the dungeon. And Phaedra sat on that couch next to Portia and said, I never told you Candy told me that directly. I said I heard it. Remember that? That and Portia cried with those crocodile tears. No, you said it. Remember?
I do.
Phaedra and Candy were friends too, remember? And even if Candy did have a dungeon, why the hell would you run and tell Portia that? See, you can't convince me that someone is a great friend when we've seen the pathology of their previous friendships and we've known this person to, she's just like Nene and Candy. When they get mad, they expose it all on Mad Day. Phaedra has lied on I mean, she was good friends with her baby daddy too. Wasn't he in jail? Didn't she throw him under the bus too? And said, why don't you turn in the scooters to the FBI? Listen, you're not going to convince me that this is a friendship. I'm more inclined to go with what Leo said. There's some background connections that are going on here. And I think if you can't even be real with yourself and talk about, your wigs, and you won't let us see you with your real hair and your makeup, girl, please, you're not real to yourself. You're not real with Brandy. This is all, it's magic. It's magic.
what is that, y'all? Guess y'all getting me together tonight. I fell for the okey doke. To don you up.
I have the same sentiments as E. I would have liked to seen Phaedra have this same friendship and stand beside Lanithia when she did her lawsuit, and her uh, Bravo downfall was going on, and I would have liked to see her make a public statement like she did and is continued to do for Brandi, because they still take Instagram pictures, and when you take an Instagram picture with somebody, you're locked in. So yeah, y'all are friends. Your marriage and friendship, it's real. So I wish she would have done that for Lanithia, because she's known her much longer than she's known Brandi. Um, However, I do feel that Phaedra was produced when it comes to that allegation. She is a grown woman. She didn't have to say it. She didn't have to repeat it. Um, she's a lawyer. She has degrees. But there was some coaching going on. I do believe that. Um, And if it was what it was, Bravo wouldn't have had her back on several shows.
Got you.
NBC, all together, they wouldn't have risked that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do, think there's something behind the scenes that happened. But I do wish she would have stood 10 toes down with Lanithia the same way she's doing with Brandi.
I got you.
Can I ask a question really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that season because I'm following the Don's thought process, and I think the only thing that loses me is that scene that was supposed to be they were breaking for lunch and they didn't think they were still being filmed, but they still had the mics on, and Phaedra, Sheree, and Portia were sitting at that picnic table, and Phaedra said that Candy and Shamir were sleeping together, and she motioned her fingers. She doing both. Remember, that's what Phaedra said. And so if this is something, if she was being produced, the problem I have is when she didn't think she was being filmed and she was still talking about this during her free time, I really feel like she really was pushing that agenda. She really believed that. Do you all think that, or is that just me?
I think it was the Giselle effect.
Uh-uh.
You
I
know
don't think she
how
knew.
the producers whisper in Giselle's ear, and then they get Ashley to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
I think it was, some kind of. It's hard to say because Phaedra is too smart to fall for stupid stuff. But sometimes it's the most intelligent people that can't think for themselves.
Okay.
So it's just hard to,
That makes sense. I'm following you.
Them
yeah.
producers got her. They got her.
Yeah, it was Carlos.
And Carlos never came back after that either. So Carlos was the one that
Carlos did
really
it.
did it.
It
That's who
just
said
wasn't
it. It was
him. It was
Carlos.
a lot of them to me.
And then the thing
Yeah.
of it
Okay,
is,
hold on.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Hold on, guys. Yeah. Thank you, Dadon. Tay.
A snake is a snake
Oh my God.
because when you wait till the snake, you know,
Go ahead.
lying in the grass and my way to bite you in the butt. It will stab you.
I agree with Tay Tay.
Me, a real friend
Mm-hmm.
who stand by you, thick or through right there until they show you your loyalty. That's my thought right there, Diva.
Well, I appreciate you because that's a thought, honey. You said a snake is a snake. All right, now, Savannah, you're up.
Well, my Tay wrapped it up. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I think the biggest story here is Brandi Glanville. Brandi has to be the most crude and classless housewife or friend of a housewife that's been on any of the shows that I have seen. I don't know the lawsuit or if it's gone through or not, but she was on Ultimate Girls Trip. I know she was accused of essaying another cast member. And this has, because Brandi clearly has an alcohol problem. And she's been very problematic, whether she's been on Beverly Hills Housewives or one of the other shows. And I think because of that incident on Ultimate Girls Trips, where they made her leave, she hasn't been back on any of the Bravo show, and so I think she's been clinging to Phaedra because Phaedra, she's trying to find out what's the formula to get back on TV, because both have been desperate or are desperate to be on TV and stay on TV, and they have been rewarded for some of the most abhorrent behavior on any of the housewife franchises. So I think I think Brandi's the bigger story here. She clearly has some deeper issues going on, and I think she's just clinging to Phaedra to figure out how can she get back on any of the shows. Whether, I don't think she'll be back on Housewives, but trying to get onto one of the other shows, because Phaedra did many other shows besides, before she landed on Married to Medicine. She was able to circulate on other reality shows, bringing on fake relationships and things like that. And I think that's what Brandi is clinging on to. They're both just opportunist snakes, like Tay said.
Ooh, ooh. Well, okay. All right, Phaedra. Phaedra fooled me. All right, but we'll move on. And let's move on to this Amanda Seales situation, where she pretty much is saying, Issa Rae was not a good friend to her, because this is our friend or foe segment, right? And before we get into that, like, she did an interview on Club Shay Shay, and a lot went down in that interview. Hold on, let's listen.
That is completely false. That people keep spinning. They keep saying, that I'm this mean girl on this set, that I harmed these people on this set. I just want to point out something very basic. How can I be a mean girl on a set that ain't my set? So I've never talked about this publicly, because it has always been incredibly important to me to protect Issa. Because I know that Issa is doing something within this business that so few people get to do. Mm-hmm. And it's not something I desire to do. Like, I'm not interested in getting $100 million production deal. Like, that's not a life that I want for myself. But I know that her role is very important. And so I've always protected Issa. However, there's just been enough instances at this point where I should have been protected by Issa, and I wasn't. And one of my biggest problems that we have discussed several times in this interview is that I think people are going to show up for me the way I show up for them. Mm-hmm. And now it's at a point where my protecting of Issa has become turned on to me and something that people are using against me. There's a whole narrative that is completely false that people keep spinning. They keep saying, that I'm this mean girl on this set, that I harmed these people on this set. I just want to point out something very basic. How can I be a mean girl on a set that ain't my set? So I've never talked about this publicly. Be the mean girl here, right? Because you can fire me. So there's no way for me to be a mean girl in this situation. And I know some people that may buck up against like the confirmation bias that they've created, but it simply is the truth. How? It's your show. You are my boss. I don't even have the capacity to be the mean girl here, right? Because you can fire me. So there's no way for me to be a mean girl in this situation. And I know some people that may buck up against like the conference felt like it. So now we got to shoot the car scene where we're driving in Malibu. Right. So we in the car and I'm telling them about what happened and I start crying because I'm a sensitive soul. And because this felt like another instance where I was being like bullied. And Issa laughed in my mother face as I was crying and said, well, you do have a tone. At the end of season 1, I pulled Issa aside after this. I said, can we go to dinner? I want to take you to dinner. I took her to dinner. I said, I feel like you think I have something against you. And I don't know why you feel that way. Because we had been cool from even before this. Right. She was like, well, no, I said, I feel like you have something against me. And she said, well, I feel like you have something against me. And I was like, based on what? Because again, Shannon, I'm on your show. Right. I can't do not like I'm only to get scenes added if you add them. I'm in pocket, baby. I can't do nothing. Felt like it. So now we got to shoot the car scene with do nothing. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, why? She said, well, I guess I was looking at you like your character. Am I that good of an actress? She wrote the character, bro. What? And so I said, you know what? So let's clean the slate because that's not. I have nothing against you. I really don't. And if that came off, that was not my intent. Nothing. Mm-hmm. So,
child, this is a mess. Hold on, let me just pause that. Let me share screen again. We talking friend or foe, people, friend or foe. Let me just get into So Amanda Seales speaks on her strained relationship with insecure co-star Issa Rae. She was not empowering to me. So insecure actress Amanda Seales opened up about her experience working on the critically acclaimed HBO sitcom amid rumors that she was difficult to work with behind the scenes. Speaking with the former footballer Shannon Sharpe on his podcast Club Shay Shay, Seales sit down claims that she was a mean girl on the show instead of turning the table on the series creator and star Issa Rae, claiming Rae did not protect her when conflict arose behind the scenes. There's a whole narrative that is completely false that people keep spinning. They keep saying, that I'm this mean girl on the set, that I harmed these people on the set, Seales said. I just want to point out something very basic. How can I be a mean girl on the set? That ain't my set. It's your show. You are my boss. I didn't even have the capacity to be the mean girl here because you can fire me. There's no way for me to be the mean girl in this situation. Excuse me. The actress explained that much of the tension between her and Rae reached a breaking point when Rae's publicist, Vanessa Anderson, had Seales kicked out of an Emmys party in 2019. Seales claimed that she was barred from the party on 2 separate occasions that evening and was later kicked out by security even after she was personally escorted in by one of the event planners. According to Seales, she reached out days later to maintain that according to Seales, Rae reached out days later to maintain that she had nothing to do with it. I never talked about this publicly because it's always been incredibly important for me to protect Issa. I know that her role is very important, Seales explained, and so I've always protected Issa. However, there's been enough instances at this point where I should have been protected by Issa, and I wasn't. Now it's at a point where my protection of Issa has been turned on to me, and people have been using it against me. Seales later said that it felt like it was Issa Rae's responsibility to mediate the conflict between herself and Anderson, but Rae allegedly did not intervene, even as Anderson went on what Seales described as a smear campaign against her. She also claimed that when they returned to set after the incident, none of her co-stars mentioned it or showed any support. I'm looking at Issa because it's like it's your responsibility when we both are your employees. This is a part of a leadership, she said. The insecure star also pointedly disagreed with Sharpe's point that Rae is very empowering to women. She wasn't empowering to me. She didn't feel like I was needed, Seales said. She didn't feel like I deserved to be protected. I'm only given a portion of the situation, but that was my experience. And nonetheless, I have still always protected her because I felt like it was my responsibility to do so, but it is not. Woo, friend or foe? Leo?
So are we asking, is Issa a friend or foe, or is Amanda a friend or foe, or both?
It could be both. It could be either. It could be neither. You could just talk about this situation because it's messy.
So right. So it's different layers. First of all, Amanda sound like opinion. My good YouTube sister here, opinion. First of all, I feel like the lines are kind of blurred in this too, because she is the employer, but Issa is the employer, but Issa liked other people on the cast, and she did not like Amanda. Her being the employer did not remedy that. Like, she did not speak on how she really truly felt about Amanda. And also, Amanda does have a harsh tone when she speaks. It's not that Amanda has a way of speaking, because even though I've not watched the show, but I followed her commentary like on YouTube. I watched her when she was on The Real. Amanda has a tone of speaking to other people as if she's the smartest person in the room.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that maybe in table reads or in those type of environments, she may have made people feel like she has She's educated. She has several degrees, Black history, African American history. She has like real education under her belt. And she may have talked down to them people in on the cast. She may have. Them people didn't like her. I think that's all what it boils down to. She never had friends on the set of Insecure. The publicist, the showrunner, all the people that was there at that party that she got kicked out of, they wouldn't let her go in. None of them people liked you, Amanda. You never did get the memo. You didn't catch it.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't like you.
And
I think that on the employer side, maybe Issa may have had some responsibility in the employer side to tell the truth. She should have told that girl the truth, not rely on her to pick up on the cues of you're just not liked in this space, because she didn't know that she wasn't liked. I would have picked up on it, but she didn't know she was not liked in this space because she still kept being hired. Each season, she still got a contract.
Right.
So it was upon Issa to say that, okay, I feel uncomfortable, this, that, and the third, but I enjoy your talent and I enjoy you being here, but I feel totally misunderstood. You remind me of the character that you play, even though Issa the one wrote the damn character. So if this thing is kind of layered to me.
Yes, it is.
I don't feel like Amanda put too much expectation on Issa, and I feel like Issa did not professionally handle how she actually felt, because Amanda was asking her out to dinner and talking to her, and that would have been the perfect space for Issa to say, look, me and you don't vibe. I don't really understand you. I can't really catch you. You talk down to the cast. Hell, you talk down to me. Because she did say, well, you do have a tone, and that's kind of ambiguous. It's kind of opaque to say, I don't like the way you talk to me. She should have said that. All this other stuff, Amanda is dramatic. Amanda getting her feels. Amanda is all those things. But she ain't no liar, though. I ain't caught her in a lie yet. So we'll see. Friend or foe, they were never friends. They were all, and it turned into foe. None of these people that she talking about, Amanda felt like she wasn't protected, and this happened on the cast, and the publicist did that. And none of them people ain't your friends, girl. They were never your friends.
Woo. Thank you, Leo. In my opinion, you're up.
Okay. Me and Amanda Seals have nothing in common. Okay. Nothing. Amanda Seals is very intelligent. And when I say this, she knows the power of manipulation, because Amanda Seals has been in this business so long. She knows how to turn a story around, manipulate it, and become the victim of every story. Notice whenever Amanda comes out with a story, it's always, woe is me. Oh, this happened to me. I don't know how this happened, because this and this and this and this. So you should believe me because I'm the victim. Girl, you've been being a victim for a mighty long time. You've been in this industry probably longer than you've been alive. I'm going to need you to grow up. Quit playing the victim. Put on your big girl panties and admit your part in it. Because I am tired of it. And as far as she's never lied, she lied in that interview because she said she had autism, but she's never been diagnosed. There is no way you can say you're on the spectrum and not been diagnosed. And I'm saying this because I have 2 autistic twins, okay? It's no way. They have to go through several levels of screening to find out you're autistic. So, no, I'm not for this.
Did you watch the interview, opinion?
I did watch it, and I saw how she talked to Shannon, and I felt sorry for Shannon. I felt like he was the one that was being belittled. And when he called her out on her stuff, she sat there and made a pouty face like she was a little kid. He said, were you diagnosed by a psychologist? She sat there and had a pouty face. He had to move on to the next question. Y'all better go back and watch it. Amanda is very conniving.
I agree with opinion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I thought this gonna be easy Friday. Felicia, you up?
Well, these are both very talented, brilliant, independent, well-educated women. She's throwing around $100 million like I'm throwing around a $20 bill. So I'm wondering, why can't we get out of our own way and get out of our own feelings and go make this money? Because you're making it legally and you're making it morally.
Right. Okay, I like that.
So I'm confused as to why this is happening. And we now know, you go to Club Shay Shay, everything gonna be out. Cat Williams kicked off the new year, and that's the standard now. The truth is going to come to the top. Cat set the standard, and anything that's mildly shady, don't sound true, you're going to get challenged. And I don't think Amanda prepared herself for that. I don't know. Maybe she is somewhat autistic. Maybe she is on meds. I don't know. But she should have better prepared herself. She's in a nice space. We know that anyone, particularly who is in the Disney family as a child, they get exposed to some kind of abuses. It's at one level or another. So I'm going to give her some grace here, because she's probably trying to understand why she has not been as successful as Issa. And so she's always torn in between that piece. So she's a frenemy, as they would say. She doesn't want to be too far away from her, because Issa's near that money, okay? And like I said, she threw out $100 million. Like, somebody says, you got a 20, and I'm like, oh, so the money, the wealth. You're probably saying, well, I have an equally as balanced background as Issa, but Issa, in terms of background and status, she has a higher level, but she wants to know why she's not making that money. And so that's at the core of her disappointment with herself. And then she's deflecting and, I believe, projecting it onto Issa. And Issa doesn't want to get into the gutter. And it's really difficult, because when you don't want to get into the gutter with somebody that you kind of like or you respect, they'll take it to the gutter. So Issa may have to go sit on Shannon's couch and now have the reply. I'm done.
I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you so much. Katrina, you up?
Yeah. Exactly what everybody was saying. It goes both ways. Listening to her on Club Shay Shay had my eyes rolling like, girl, what are you saying? I'm not understanding. Maybe she is on the spectrum. I'm not saying that she is. I'm not saying, but you can't diagnose yourself. You don't want to pay $10,000 to get yourself diagnosed, so you're gonna diagnose yourself. And then she was saying that she didn't want the $100 million deal that Issa Rae had. She didn't want that for herself or whatsoever. That's a fool. But either way, hopefully she can get on some meds or whatever she want to get on, so it can help her with her autism. That's all I got, Diva. I'm done.
Thank you, Dr. Love.
There's no meds for autism.
Here, Cookie.
Uh-uh.
You need to get on some kind of meds.
Well, it wouldn't be meds for autism, and we're not gonna play like that. This is Autism Awareness Month. So
Yes, it's a lot of mental.
Dr. Love.
Yeah, I did used to like her, but now I just feel like she's just trying to get back. How could I say, on the scene or something? But she kind of doing it wrong, or something and happened. I don't think she's telling it all. But who was talking about Club Shay Shay when they do get on there and tell it all? So yeah, I don't know. I think she just trying to get back on the scene to me, because she was throwing that money out like it was nothing. I was like, oh, okay, you ain't trying to get that type of contract.
Did we lose you, Dr. Love? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was me. I think it
Oh,
was me, Diva.
I'm here, Diva.
okay. All right, go ahead, E. You're up.
I can relate to Amanda's message, and in this regard, I can. It can be tiring always taking the high road and cheering on a sister who is talking bad on your name from Amanda's perspective. Amanda said, I protected Issa, but I did not feel that same level of protection given back. That is an important key here. And I am certain Amanda saw some things, heard some things, and can tell some things that could be embarrassing to the Issa Rae Productions. And I'm with Dr. Love. I don't think that Amanda is telling it all. And to me, that is an example of grace. Sometimes as people, we can see a person's persona outside of the workplace and develop our own perception of who this person is and what they stand for. And like it's been said before, Amanda has a very strong, passionate, unapologetic, and articulate way of speaking and doing things that can make certain personality types feel inferior or insecure, no pun intended. And it's really hard for me to accept that she was mean or people got to see her true personality on a set where they were acting, because I know some people who get into role and get into characters and they walk on set in mode because they have to get so deep into those emotions or that place that they don't even play around. They're in character as soon as they come out the trailer. So I am proud of Amanda for speaking up and articulating her feelings about Issa. And it proves to me that Amanda was a bigger woman, because Amanda felt she was being shaded by Issa. So she invited her out to dinner to clear the air. Once they arrived to dinner and Amanda laid her cards on the table, now all is revealed. This whole time, Issa assumed that Amanda had an issue with her. Why did I have to invite you to dinner for you to tell me that you thought I had an issue with you? The best way to resolve confusion is to have a conversation. And the reason I'm leaning towards faulting Issa for not inviting Amanda to dinner to clear the air first is because as a Black woman, you're branding yourself as an ally and a supporter of women. And so before you label another Black woman as difficult in this industry, which we all know is the mark of the beast, Issa should have given Amanda the opportunity to correct her actions and improve before potentially jeopardizing her future employment prospects. So that's where I'm coming from.
I appreciate you. Thank you, E. And I understand what you're saying. Dadon, you're up.
If everybody says you're dead, it's time for you to lie down. How come everybody else is the problem all the time with Amanda? She likes to point her fingers towards everybody. I have a problem with people like that. She never takes accountability for nothing. It's always everybody else.
Come on, Dawn.
On the real, it was everybody else. If you had an issue with this lady season 1, why did you stay 5 more seasons?
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Make it make sense to me. Why did you put the lettering of Alpha Kappa Alpha on your on clothing and wear it on the scene, knowing that you're not one?
Oh my gosh.
You wanted the check. And then you wait until it's over, until the reboot is not coming back, and then you want to get up here and talk cash money.
Oh my gosh.
I hate people like that. After you done got your pockets swollen because nobody really knew who you were prior to this show. Yeah, you sung with Floetry, but look what happened after that. I mean, who do you think you are? This lady employed so many Black people, and you're the only one. Leave if there's a problem. Report it to HR. if there's a problem. HBO has an HR. But no, you decided to stay 5 more seasons instead of going on tour and doing your comedy. No, but what you did was build up your resume so more people would know your face. But if it was such a hostile environment, why did you stay? Nobody was making you, Amanda. And you got money. I'm pretty sure you got health care. You don't have to pay $10,000 out of pocket. Just make it make sense.
Ooh, ooh. Tay.
I'm just getting her that side eye because I don't like her. I don't know who she is. But who you think you are, Mr. Bisser? And know that you be nasty and toxic to all your employees. I'm just getting her the side eye, diva. And like MIP said, put your big girl draws on and take the account fee too. Be adult. Girl, you ain't no child, you adult. That's all, diva.
I appreciate you, Tay. Thank you. Savannah, you're up.
Oh, Amanda. What was it? Earlier this year, she was upset because she wasn't being invited to award ceremonies, and so we heard all about Amanda in that. Amanda's a type that she rubs people the wrong way, and then she's surprised that people don't like her. And I'm confused. I myself watched the Shay interview, and now I'm seeing all the backlash that he's getting today, and that he's the problem. And I'm wondering why no one's talking about the false accusations that she made years ago on the ex-NFL player for essaying her, and then she had to come back and say that she never did say he essayed her. And the NFL player was he's a neurosurgeon now, very respected, never problematic in the league or anything like that. But Amanda, because he didn't give her the time of day, she put something out on social media, and then it turned into this big firestorm. The same thing with Marsha Ambrosia. I remember that issue there. She got upset with Marsha because I remember Wendy Williams was involved in that. Marsha didn't introduce her to the crowd, to the public, with love, so that the public could love her as a new member of Flowetry. And the old member, Natalie was on an interview, Wendy Williams on the couch, and when they were talking about the Flowetry, and Natalie had said that, that the group, Amanda and Marsha, that they were fake. And, Wendy being Wendy, messy, shady. And so Amanda Seals turned to Marsha and said, "You're not going to say anything." And Marsha Ambrosia said, "Well, it is what it is." And ever since then, Amanda came out and said the same thing that she said about Issa. Marsha failed to protect me. So it just seems that she said the same thing. It was in an interview. I remember that whole because I was a diehard fan of Flowetry. They kept me going through my senior year of college. I remember I hated that they broke up. I didn't know who this new chick was that came into the group, Amanda, but I loved Wendy, and I remember that whole controversy that came out. But she said the same thing, that Marsha did not protect her. Issa is a powerhouse. I follow her story on LinkedIn. I'm connected to her. She has been able not only to highlight and showcase her own stories, but the stories of others expanding the culture and experiences of a community that is underserved and underrepresented in so many genres. And for Amanda to come out and attack Issa, I am even lesser of a fan than I was before, because it's like the Don said, everybody else is a problem except her. And she and I'm glad she's receiving all this backlash from mothers of children who have been diagnosed with autism and other aspects of autism on the spectrum. And for her, she got caught in that lie and she doesn't know how to backtrack. And I think because she got caught in that lie, she's pointing the finger at Shannon and saying he didn't interview her correctly, or he backed her up into a corner. So now it's Shannon's fault that she was forced to say this lie. So I'm disappointed because she is intelligent, but I'm not a fan of hers. And for her to say that she is an expert because she has a master's degree, I don't know why she feels that she's a subject matter expert in the African American culture when you are so controversial and not well accepted in many circles. There's something obviously wrong with you. You are awkward. There's something wrong with Amanda.
Oh, thank you, Savannah. Okay, that was rough. Amanda.
Can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
I heard people in the I saw people in the comments were saying she might be Asperger's. If you feel you have a some kind of disorder, it will behoove you to go to the doctor, get a diagnosis, and find a medical treatment plan that works for you. But do not come on the internet, make a fool of yourself, self-diagnose yourself, and then expect me to feel sorry for you when I have 2 kids that are suffering with it on different ends of the spectrum that I have to deal with. Don't play with it, especially not in Autism Awareness Month. It is ridiculous. I'm not going to hold her at this certain level because she says she's on the spectrum. Because again, from her own words, she has not been diagnosed. So I can't say she has it because she hasn't went to the doctor to see if she has it. And so I'm going to treat her like the liar that she is.
Oh my God. Ooh. All right.
And while she was talking about all y'all black people calling y'all the N-word, y'all was okay with that. But I'll digress.
All right, Amanda, there it is. Let me roll into the next story. Ellen DeGeneres. You know, am I ready? Can I do this? Let me get right into Ellen here. Dr. Love, pray for me. Send some energy my way. Ellen DeGeneres, she said, I got kicked out of showbiz for being toxic and mean, right? So Ellen DeGeneres says she got thrown out of Hollywood for being mean and toxic. Something she's making light of now in a new stand-up show, which is coming to Netflix. The comedian did a live show in LA this week, which some reporters had attended, and she ended up addressing her leaving her famed talk show, which came to an end in 2022, on the heels of claims from former staffers that the workplace was a nightmare. Ellen says, what else can I tell you? Oh, yeah, I got kicked out of show business. There's no mean people in show business. She adds the hate went on for so long, for a long time, and I would try to avoid looking at the news. To be the be kind girl wasn't kind. That was the headline. I became this one-dimensional character who gave stuff away and danced up steps. Would a mean person dance up steps? Had I ended my show by saying, go F yourself, people would have been pleasantly surprised. Ellen also made this crack at one point, saying that saying this was actually the second time she'd been kicked out of showbiz, referring to the backlash she got in the 90s when she came out, and added, there'd be a third time eventually because she said, I'm mean, I'm old, and I'm gay. While she was making fun of the whole ordeal, she got serious at various moments in the set too, saying the aftermath took a toll on her ego and self-esteem, noting people in Hollywood either love you or hate you, and that the hate often outweighs the love. She also said, honestly, I'm making jokes about what happened to me, but it was devastating, really. I just hated the way the show ended. I loved that show so much, and I just hated that the last time people would see me was that way. Ellen also said the scandal weighed heavily on her wife, and while she was down in the dumps for a long time, she's grateful to be back on stage now. The stand-up of Ellen's is eventually going to be filmed and released in the fall on Netflix. How are you feeling about Ellen, Leo?
When the story came out, I pretty much believed the people when they said that Ellen was mean. She does give me the aura of she smiled for the cameras and then she's somewhere biting at people behind the scenes. Maybe short. I also understand that there are predators out there in Hollywood that still keep their casting couch where they do all types of ungodly things.
Right.
She lost her career for just being mean.
Right.
Well, we live in the patriarchy. And so whereas a man can be assertive and aggressive and bossy, they see that as a person who is authoritative and about their business. But when a woman is that way and she puts on the smiley face for the camera and behind the scenes she wants things a certain way, she will be seen as mean. He had a following for that show. People love the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yes.
So they love that show. So to be successful and have that type of viewership and have that big of a platform, I'm quite sure she was not the nicest person behind the scenes. Did she cultivate a air of toxicity where people were afraid of her? She probably did. She probably is. One thing about comedians is the tragedy and the comedy. So she probably was a tragedy in backstage. She probably was a tragedy. But she didn't say that she wasn't assertive or she didn't make excuses. What she said is that how can I be kicked out of Hollywood with being mean when it's all these other predators running around Hollywood that's being successful and y'all ain't throwing them out into the street?
Right.
That's what she said. And so she said it took a hit at her ego, which means to me that she thought she was the bee's knees. She thought she was the cream of the crop. She thought she was on top like a Oprah per se. And only to come to find out all the people had to say is that she was mean and she was put out on the street. And so her ego took a hit. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. I hope she learned from it. I hope she will tell people at the end of her show to be kind to others. But you might need to be kinder to your staff. Or better yet, have a bulldog or a terrier that's your right-hand person that's out there barking them orders where you can just smile and grin all day long, all through the back and everything else, and you don't have your hands on it.
Yeah.
So, I don't feel sorry for her. What she is explaining to me is how things happen in Hollywood, how you on top one minute and you at the bottom in the gutter the next. And it is what it is. I hope you stack your coins. I hope all your bills are paid, which I'm quite sure they are. I don't think she didn't miss a meal. She ain't living in the homeless shelter. So she good. She gonna be all right. Her ego took a hit. That's all.
That's it, and that's all. In my opinion, you're up.
Oh Lord, I don't want her to do this. Ellen DeGeneres is another one. Okay. You get what you give out. When it first came out that her show was being toxic and people were complaining, she kept trying to fire people that she thought was saying this. Through the course of 2020, when we was going through the pandemic, she went through 4 different producers because she kept firing people, trying to figure out who was the lead because she had to film at her home. She started all this heat on herself. Instead of being the person that you claim you were, she was trying to cover up and shut people's mouth. I think that's where her first fall started. So they leaked this investigation. They found out that it wasn't the producers that she was firing. It was actually one of her cameramans that was. After she found out that, she made that man life a living, you know what, until he quit. To the point where, you know, Twitter went into uproar and she had her A-list friends to come out and support her. So I don't feel, here's the thing. I ain't feel sorry for Amanda. I don't feel sorry for Ellen. You get what you put out. I hope they get everything they supposed to get to them. And if anybody else that's out here abusing other people, we are not your slaves.
Oh my God. Ooh, Felicia.
It's a rough night for the women. I'll tell you that.
Woo, it's rough.
It's a little frightening out here tonight, but okay. So it's our turn. All right. Okay. Just for the record and for the folks in the second row, the third row, and all the way in the back. I've been pushed out, put out, thrown out, told never to come back, and I kept it pushing, kept it moving. But I find sometimes that my counterparts, women of another complexion, they're not accustomed to that. They don't know what it really is to be in a struggle in the American workplace because they have certain position or authority or relevance. And when they hear that they're not adored or, you know, highly respected and everybody appreciates them, their ego, yeah, Leo, you're right, takes a major hit. In opinion, you are absolutely correct. Then they go out looking for the perpetrators. They're looking for the people who may have said this or said that. And if you were in the company of so-and-so, or you may have said something about yourself, it gets interpreted to be something other than that. Ellen got too much money and too much status to be out here whining. She's in good health. She's had a pretty good life. She's been a trailblazer. So, you know, take that hit, Ellen. You got enough money to come back and start your own show again. The people will welcome you back. I enjoyed many of her episodes. And it's a different time now. We're coming out of this post-pandemic here, and it's a different time. You come back, you clean up some of those rough edges, you get a little bit more happy with yourself, and enjoy your time in front of the camera. I wish her well. I really do.
Thank you, Felicia. Katrina, you're out.
I am so tired of these rich people problems. You rich. What you complaining about? You mean. Of course. Was she blackballed because she was mean? Or was she blackballed because she was visiting Epstein Island? Allegedly. I'm just saying. Dance your way back to whatever you want to dance to, Ellen. Because really and truly, you have nothing to complain about, lady. You're rich. And if you got blackballed, like everybody said, you got enough money to revamp yourself and come back out again and dance on somebody else's stage. You good. I'm done.
Thank you, Katrina. Dr. Love.
Well, I'm kind of on the opposite side with Ellen because, you know, she gave Clark Atlanta University a lot of money and scholarships. And I am so grateful for that.
Come on now.
And I do understand people who is in that talk show business. That's a hard business from what I've heard. And I did hear one of you guys saying she need a middle person, which I feel like a lot of people who are in charge always need somebody in between them because you will get stressed. Things will be out of your control, let alone preparing for an hour show. So and to say all other things that life, dish out to you as well. So I do feel like her and many other people who have very high positions need a person, an assistant, as they say, to do the dirty work, the good work, the clean work, whatever it is extra that needs to be done. Because at the end of the day, another thing, Ellen is a woman. She do have certain times of the month, so on and so on. So yeah, and I do believe she was mean. I do believe that, because sometimes she'd come out on that show and you could just see it in her face. Her dancing and all, you could just see it in her face. If that day was hard or not, sometime, but yeah, Ellen, I don't think she need to be complaining neither,
Yeah.
but that was her job, and she may really have loved it. And at the end of the day, she had to be removed. She had to take a step back, and then I think that's why she came and complained now. To evaluate herself and get herself back, because everybody's human, and at the end of the day, that's a big loss for anybody. That you going on a show every single day, umpteen years, and then somebody complain about you being a mean person or whatever it could be. But yeah, to lose a job like that, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Love. E?
I never watched Ellen, but I'm gonna take my moment to say no one will ever do it like Wendy. And in the words of Jules, I'm going to recuse my time.
I appreciate you, E. Thank you. Dadon?
I really don't know too much about this subject with Ellen being mean. Um, uh, who knows? Um, but like I've heard on previous subjects, is a woman being assertive? Does that mean she's being mean? Um, if it was a man, would he be called mean doing the same thing?
Right. Come on now. Right.
So I guess it's just all perspective, and it just takes one person in Hollywood to say something negative about you, and you can be ruined for life or for a long time. So I would like to know what was the mean.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dadon. Tay Tay?
Oh, I'm with E on this right here because I never watched Ella her TV show while it was on the live. Yeah, people say, I mean, celebrity, they feel uncomfortable when they're over there. I mean, there was a clown too, if I remember correctly. I see on the YouTube one that she scared them and then asked them on personal stuff right there. That's why. I mean, yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth that you be mean and nasty and you got a mean spirit. Just be kind to people. Just be nice to them. That's all. You don't have to be rich and mean to other people you think you better than them. That's what's wrong with rich people these days. That's all, Devo.
I appreciate you, Tay Tay. Thank you. Savannah, you're up.
Well, I did used to watch Ellen because that's when the era of good TV, when we had Wendy in the morning and then Ellen in the afternoon. So I do believe Ellen was a leading participant in creating a toxic work environment. I think in the later years of the show, I think she was tired. I don't think she was, and you can tell by the way she was dancing, and I think it was just not fun for her anymore, and she was trying to find an exit strategy. But I really I was surprised when the stories had came out, but I had heard or seen some things online of disgruntled employees, but I thought they were just like onesie twosies. But when it was more than 5-10 employees that were saying the same thing, then there's obviously something wrong within the organization itself. So I'm pretty sure she was aware of it, but I think Ellen wasn't having fun anymore. And I hope she learned. I hope she went back and had discussions, maybe with like Dave Chappelle, why he walked away, and because it wasn't fun for him anymore. And when he came back and his comeback, and honestly, right now, no one's bigger than Dave Chappelle in the comedy game. So I really don't want her to come back into a talk show space. I know Ellen cares a lot about animals and rainforest and I think gorillas or something. I'd rather her educate us on that. Go out with Portia, because Ellen isn't rich. Ellen is wealthy. Like, Ellen got money. So go out and do something like that. Explore the land, the countries, and go have fun. But don't come back into a talk show space. This is a different environment, different culture, and this audience is not going to accept you now.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Savannah. Okay, y'all. I thought I had just, friend or foe, easy stories, but y'all was like, ooh. Okay, but we're gonna roll on into our feel good story. So hold on one second, everybody. It's a really good story about work ethic. I hope I didn't close it out. Oh no, here we go.
Dylan Beard showed up at the Millrose Games in New York City in February. He was not expected to win.
Where are you? I'm to the right of her.
You're not even on the screen. And as Dylan blew past the competition, boom. The announcer didn't even seem to know his name.
Is that Dylan Beard?
Oh, but they know it now.
And indeed, he now is confirmed.
When the flower girl approaches you, you looked a little confused. You were like, are these flowers for me?
Yeah, flowers are for the winner, so
Yeah.
I'm still looking for the time, not knowing the results or anything.
25-year-old Dylan Beard has been running over hurdles since he was a teenager in Baltimore, Maryland. His high school hallway at Archbishop Spalding is still filled with his unbroken records. Did you feel the same way that you usually feel before a meet, or did you feel any different?
I think I went in a lot more relaxed, like nothing to lose, a lot to gain.
What he gained was everything. Dylan didn't just win the race, he broke records and became the third fastest hurdler in the world, punching his ticket to the U.S. Olympic track and field trials in June. What did you do after the race?
Flew home, and the next day I was back to weight training, back to practicing, and back to work.
Here's my favorite part of your story. You're training, you've been grinding for years, but you've got a full-time job. You work at Walmart.
Yes, I do.
What do you do at Walmart?
I work in the deli section at Walmart as an associate.
Dylan is what they call an unsponsored athlete. His dream of going to the Olympics is funded only by his own sheer grit and his weekly paycheck.
Set.
By day, he trains tirelessly at North Carolina State University in Raleigh, North Carolina. His coach, Ruben McCoy, says Dylan is unlike any athlete he's ever worked with.
His work ethic is very much unmatched, and his character speaks very highly of the man who he is.
And by night, he's behind the counter at Walmart slicing deli meat.
Small or large?
Small.
And waiting on customers.
Thank you and have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up?
His manager, David Davis, tells us Dylan is one of the most dependable employees they've ever had.
Dylan's work ethic is next level. He provides excellent customer service all the time. He goes above and beyond just like he does on the track.
And just as he did throughout his education, Dylan just completed his master's degree in public health at Howard University, which he hopes to use counseling at-risk youth. We saw you doing some training, and we saw you working at Walmart as well. It seems as if you take both of them equally serious.
Oh, absolutely.
What drives you?
At the end of the day, my name is attached to what I'm doing. So yes, I'm working at Walmart the deli, but it still represents me, which represents a lot of other people.
Come on, y'all, come on in. We soon learn where Dylan gets that positivity from.
This is my mom.
Oh, Mom. When his friends and family, even former coaches, track coach,
High school track coach, yes.
oh my goodness, heard he was in town, they showed up. They all showed up. You know these people.
I know all of them. This is Dad right here.
Nice to meet you. And this is Granddad.
Yep, that's Grandpa.
That's the old man here. You got a big cheer squad here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks love Dylan. And Dylan would love to take that whole cheer squad with him all the way to Eugene, Oregon for the Olympic trials. But Dylan's squad runs deep. Thanks to our friends at Walmart, I have decided to give you $20,000. We want all these folks to be able to go cheer you on. Dylan, clearly moved, needed a moment to collect his thoughts.
I'm appreciative, very unexpected, and I'm thankful. Very thankful. Thank you.
We're proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. And now, Dylan will have this team at his side at the Olympic trials when he hopes to join an additional one, Team USA. Come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan.
Awesome. Somebody to root for.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just an amazing guy. I mean, he's just one of these guys. You're talking to him like this, and you can just sense like his soul and his spirit are all pure.
Wow.
So now
what?
we got to make sure he gets out to Eugene, Oregon to make Team USA, so you can watch the best athletes in the country, including Dylan, compete for a spot on Team USA at the U.S. Olympic team trials in June, of course, ahead of the Paris Olympics this summer, all on NBC, all on Peacock.
Craig, that was a beautiful work.
Team USA. I thought it was a great story. I mean, this gentleman working hard. He works at night. He still, he's getting his graduate degree, and he still works out. That's, you talking determined right there. Determined. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me on a Friday night. If you did not hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody, and I'll see you next time.
Do not cheat the diva, always strike down. Thank you. This is